Islanders, I will call you as a couple, but you will be voting as an individual. You will then stand behind the island.
My bad, my mic wasn't on. Hey guys, listen, welcome to Little Black Belt 91. Listen, like I said, I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to come and have your say. We've got an hour. So you know what? I want you to come on quickly, come and have your say. You know, that this Love Island for the last 2 weeks has been crazy. So many people have had different thoughts and opinions about this particular show, and I understand why. Okay, all right. So today I've decided, listen, we open up the platform. We want you guys to come and jump on. You don't necessarily need a camera. So if you don't want to come on camera, I get it. I'm not asking you to come on camera. I understand it, right? Just come, but be respectful. Please don't swear. Keep it cute, keep it classy. And we'd love to have your opinion and your thoughts about this this season so far. Because I think with Love Island, it's been such an amazing show because of the things that are going on and things that have been happening. It's been crazy. So I would love to hear people's opinions. I'd love to hear people's thoughts. I'd love to hear your perspective on this. I've spoken about it for the past 2 weeks and I've enjoyed my time watching Love Island. This is one of the first times ever I've been able to follow Love Island for at least 2 weeks and not stopped posting every day. So you can tell I'm involved because I always quit after the first week. Can't lie to you. As you can tell, I don't do the UK one. It's just not my thing. So I would love to get to know your perspectives. I want to know first and foremost, I want to know people's thoughts on, on I want to know people's perspectives on the Huda situation, how you guys felt about Huda and Jeremiah. You know what I mean? You've heard my opinion so many times, so you don't need to hear it again. What's you guys' thoughts on the Huda and the Jeremiah situation? I'd love to hear some different perspectives. Please come on and have your say, man. Like, it'll be good to have a time. This is your time. This is fan time. You get what I'm saying? This is fan time. So I want to know what's your thoughts on this situation. Okay. All right. So come and have your say. Join the live. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we want to be able to hear what you guys got to say. All right. So if you're here, there's a link in the description. There's a link being pinned. So come have your say. Okay. I know you guys are in the chat. All right. But for me personally, I've spoken this about this the last 2 lives. I've spoken about this as well. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's episode. I cannot wait to see what carnage awaits us, because after keeping Huda, how would the Islanders deal with Huda now they've saved her? How will she handle Jeremiah, trying to kick on with Iris? Micah was crashing out over pulling a chair. So I'm wondering the aftermath, what's going to happen. You know what I mean? So I'm intrigued to find out what's going to be the situation in that particular villa. Listen, if you're here, listen, I want you guys to get involved, man. Look, we got a few numbers growing in. They'll get bigger numbers in a second or two. I want to hear your perspectives, guys. If you're here, click on the link. You don't need to come up. I'd love to have some perspectives. If you're watching Love Island and you're involved, then please jump aboard. Give us your opinion. Camille, I see you here. I see you here. I say Priya, sorry, I see you here. Pardon the posh, I see you here. Jump on. We want to hear your perspective. Again, you don't have to come up. You don't have to put your camera on or whatever. You just need to come up. Click on that link, and let's get you in the conversation. Okay. All right. Let's get you in the conversation. Rosho says Jeremiah is able to attract women easily based on his looks, but I believe he may have a hard time keeping some because he doesn't seem like he's very intellectual and possibly low self-esteem. Well, that's a very interesting perspective, actually. Very interesting perspective in that respect. I do believe that he is a little, as much as he's good looking, I do believe like you don't see the same energy he has that Ace has. Like you can tell that Ace is, even though he may be a little bit insecure, Ace, he's confident enough in a space where he will go forward rather than go backwards. You can't catch Ace off guard like you do catch Jeremiah. And I think it's because of the way that Jeremiah actually probably, even though Jeremiah knows he's a good-looking man, he almost acts as if he doesn't know he's a good-looking man. No one's there. So I think there's a difference between him and Ace, whereas Ace is like, you can tell that you give him an opportunity, he gonna take a mile if you give him an inch. Whereas your Jeremiah is like, it's a bit, I wouldn't say slow. It's just more of a case of like, it's not the smartest tool in the box. You know what I mean? That's not to say he's not smart. It's just to say that you don't find him sharp and witty. He's not that kind of person. And maybe that's the looks. Maybe that's him being good looking that's kept him out that way. Okay. Yeah. Look. So I love that point as well. I love that particular perspective as well. Yeah. I don't want to insult him too much. Brashay Bree, you're laughing. I mean, listen. Hey, look. Hey, listen, those of you who are here, listen, I need you to join us live. Look, come and join us. Like, give us your opinion. You know what I'm saying? To you guys, you chat in the chat, but this is your time to come and say your opinion. You know what I mean? You don't have to let your camera be on, but just come and say your opinion so we can discuss this properly. You hear me? Yeah? You're going to be writing these paragraphs in the chat when you can be telling me on the live. You feel me? Yeah? But like I said, yeah, there was a lot of different things that I was looking at in terms of their situation. I was like, not really feeling that. Do you know what I mean? Not really feeling that at all. And like I said, the fake behaviors by the Islanders for me was definitely not in alignment with what America were actually voting for. So I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird episode, but I loved it as well. Brashay Bree says, I'm tired of women not holding Huda accountable. I hear it. You know what? I can even play some popular takes actually that was on Love Island. So you know what? While we're waiting, we will play some popular takes. That was what people watched and stuff and what people said. Let's do some popular takes. Let's Love Island, USA. Let's talk about Love Island USA. Huda. We them boys. Okay. It's not curated. I just realized it's not my curated feed. Okay, so let me put my curated feed, and then I can get the clips for Love Island because I'm not seeing no black people. I'm like, wait, why am I not seeing black people on my Love Island USA debriefs? I'm seeing white folk. I was like, that tells me I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place. Okay, so I got one of them. Hold on. Oh, what's Storytime Ricky done? Did you know that the same exact... Hold on, let me shout out to Storytime Ricky. She done said something. Let me check what Storytime Ricky just said. She just said something. Let me check something out. Hold on, people. Hold on now. Let me see what Storytime Ricky said. I'll play the clip for you guys. Hold on. Let's go into it. I'm gonna play a little clip. Let's see what Storytime. Shout out to Storytime Ricky. She's always on point with her takes. I love that. You know, she always comes with the tea as well. So don't play with Storytime Ricky now. Okay, don't play with Storytime Ricky. Okay, let's see what she was saying, Storytime Ricky. I want to get you guys see what you guys' perspective is on this. And we'll have a little chat. Leave the comments in the chat as well if you're here. I'll read them out.
Shelly and Ace rumors. But did you know that the same exact message was posted about this one? And look at this one. Found them both on the internet. Fucking identical. I have been seeing this message everywhere today with not a photo of them together, with not a receipt of them together, with no kind of actual proof. You guys do understand that anybody can go on their Instagram story and write anything and make it look like it's coming from a close friend. Y'all gonna eat that up. But what this person did on Shelly and Aces was try and take a tidbit of information that's already out there to make it seem like that they have some inside information. He literally told her Happy Valentine's Day this year on IG. Did he? So you might know by now, there's a video circulating online of Ace and his boogies, which is what he calls his followers, saying Happy Valentine's Day, Shelly. And if you just watch the video, it sounds like Ace is wishing Shelly a happy Valentine's Day. So of course we think it's our Shelly, right? Like, oh my God, conspiracy, they know each other. When you read the caption of the video, which everyone on social media has just conveniently left out, it says, Ace wanted to help someone wish their partner happy Valentine's with some help from the boogies. Hope Jelly / Telly / Shelly had a wonderful day. So no, he was not wishing Shelly a happy Valentine's Day. Wouldn't his close friend know that? He was doing shout outs on his page and he did a shout out for a Shelly, which was somebody else's partner, not his. I can go on my Instagram story right now. Actually, you see how easy that is? Jeremiah got a baby on the way. Except he doesn't. No one even posted a username or had a username to verify if this person even knew Ace or Shelly. Furthermore, you think that a couple would be together for months and months and months. All their family and friends and close circle know about it, and there would not be one picture of these people online anywhere, that nobody would leak a photo of them. That every single person in their life would keep quiet. Come on, guys. Ace and Shelly have already admitted to knowing each other. We already know they follow each other on social media, and they have been liking and commenting on each other's pictures for years at this point. They probably have exchanged some DMs together, but to say that the two of them have been dating for months is a stretch. There would be photos somewhere. Send me photos or get out of here, okay? This is not a receipt. This is just words from a random person on the internet. And I'm surprised at the amount of creators, big and small, big ones should know better, that picked this up and reported it as such, reported it as Shelly's friend. Somebody who knows both of them. And it's probably just another Love Island fan that was like, let me see what shit I can stir up. You guys have got to have better discernment. Come on!
No, she ain't lying. She ain't lying about that. Definitely need to have better discernment. Now let me just play a little clip of what was like I said happened on, hold on, what did I do that for? I just took a little bit of clip off. Okay, here we go, so you can actually see. Shout out to this. I always watch her breakdowns. This young lady as well, she has good breakdowns. I like her breakdowns. I don't always agree, but I love her breakdowns.
Now, Jeremiah said you were not his type. He was not attracted to you. He didn't want to sleep in the same bed with you. And when you had the chance to save someone, you saved Huda. Iris, I don't want to question nobody's train of thought. But baby, I'm questioning yours. Now, let me also go ahead and report myself. When Ace opened that door, I was cheesing. But let's get to this recap, child, because my emotions went up and down. But I am entertained, can't lie. We ended the last episode with Jeremiah and Huda arguing, and we started the episode in the same fucking place. Jeremiah's telling, oh girl, I would never call you out your name like you calling me out mine. Huda saying how any man in the situation would have, went straight to his girl. Jeremiah took that as a dig, like, I'm not a man. Jeremiah, you were wrong though. Then she brought up the pancake thing again, and I was like, okay, girl. Then she said, it's clear to America that you don't like me. And Jeremiah hit the flip script like, no, America could also see how you treated me. We do. That's more like it. Now, Austin and Maya, that threw me for a loop. And y'all peeped, I got his name right this time. I see Amaya wants to do a little boomerang. She throwing that man compliments. You smell good. You look good. You're so genuine. Girl, we get it. You like him. And Austin is saying, she's a breath of fresh air. He's kind of tired of the triangle. Hannah and Pepe, she says she's taking it day by day with him. The last day was kind of a lot, but she's enjoying getting to know him. They had their little kiss. Y'all remember a couple episodes ago, she was saying how she promises she will not be kissing him. I told y'all she was going to break that promise. Olandria and Taylor catching up. He talking about how was your full body massage. You sound a little jealous. Then asking if they kissed. And by Olandria's response, I was like, oh yeah, nah, she definitely not feeling. We could tell, but she definitely not feeling Jalen. She said that if Taylor had gone, she would have felt like she wanted to go too. Girl, let's not do too much. It's too soon to be wanting to pack your bags when somebody leaves. Come on now. But they went downstairs, took the little picture in the photo booth, had the little kisses, whatever. Back to Jeremiah and Huda. He apologizes for not being there. He said Iris was not his type. Huda is still feeling some type of way that he stayed in the bed with her, though. I want that man to sleep somewhere else. I would sleep in the bed, too. Jeremiah said he had no regrets choosing Huda and, staying with her through the whole experience. And she said, he broke her heart. Mans was mute after that. What else is there to say? And I love that the guys were even making fun of how Huda was sitting down looking like New York from Flavor of Love when the bombshells and the triple date returned back to the villa. Now, again, Huda, baby, I don't know what's going on. Everybody is in their bed, ready to go to sleep. You get up, go outside to sit down and sulk. Then the next morning, Jeremiah is apologizing to Huda for not getting up to comfort her. And she's like, oh, we'll talk about it later. Baby, if it's time for bed, girl, if you want to cry, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I think Nick was talking to Ace and he was like, I think that relationship's a little toxic.
Listen, I can listen to all day, but I'll show another one.
No, I need y'all to answer me for real before I start talking. Is this a safe space? Shake on it. Pinky promise? Bet. Y'all clapping a little too hard for the demise of Huda and Jeremiah. okay? Because they're going to be back together. It's not done. It's not done. The full recap of the episode is going to be on my YouTube. So if you want to hear more about it, make sure you go lock in. Y'all are giving Jeremiah entirely too much credit. He is just as caught up in this toxic mess as Huda is. Huda is just crazier than him. She just can't control herself. Also, y'all keep talking about wanting Huda off the show. Huda is the show right now. Okay? She makes good television. Hate her if you want to, but she makes good TV. I think there's going to be a bombshell that comes in. Huda is going to do what she does, which is way too much, because she's going to have to force herself to like the bombshell, and she's going to want to make Jeremiah jealous. I think Jeremiah is actually going to be jealous, and then they're going to sit down and have a talk. Jeremiah doesn't like Iris, and that's just it. So it's not going to work out. And whether we hate it or love it, Jeremiah does like Huda. He likes her. He's just playing a game right now.
Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh buddy. Listen, I can. By the way, if you're in the room, there's 100 people in the room, listen, and it's climbing. If you want to have your say, the link is in the chat. You don't have to stay in the chat. Listen, come on live. Let's have a conversation. Let's have your opinions. It's a fans live, by the way. It's meant to be fans have their say. This is not meant to be me having my say. So if you know you've got an opinion, I would love to hear it. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Make sure you guys are clicking on that link and you are jumping on to say your piece, because this is about to be just your space too. I want you to be able to feel free, okay? Or I want you to tell us your opinion. What did you see? You know what I mean? And at least if you're not going to do that, then leave some comments in the chat so I can respond to it. Because baby, we've got the next, I don't know how long we got left, you know? So okay, guys, opinions. I don't want to talk about too much today. I've already spoke twice today. We'll speak tomorrow when we do watch the show. Someone said, I'd love to see how he tries to work this way back through after trying to vote her off. Yeah, Jeremiah will go back. Yeah, I think Jeremiah will go back, to be honest. If I'm only honest, I think Jeremiah will go back. Because you don't end the toxic relationship like that and it's done. No, you will go back. He'll go back. And because the person also who he's with, coupled up with, isn't a necessarily better choice. Because as much as she hears him out, like, that's not who his heart beats for. His heart beats for Huda. And it's unfortunate. Huda heart beats for Jeremiah. But maybe this break will give them an opportunity just to kind of see how they may interact and how they may need to change the way they interact in order to have better interactions. You know what I mean? So for me personally, I'm like, well, I hear it. I get it. You know, which is crazy. Yeah, it's a lot right now. Iris is also weird. Well, she could be. I mean, a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you on that one, to be honest. I definitely understand your perspective on that one. You know what I'm saying to you? But yeah, it's been interesting. Some of the thought process by people on the internet, the think pieces, you know, it'd be crazy. Listen to this one.
This is like week 2. Huda saying that Jeremiah.
That's another one I'll let you listen to as well, guys. Listen to this one. It's where girl code is not a thing. Everybody was fake last night when they voted for Jalen. Absolutely. Absolutely. They were all fake. None of them were being real, and none of them are actually being true to their actual position. Absolutely being fake. Like, you can't, how do we play and here's a hypocrisy. If we are saying that, you know, Huda needs to be more open. If we're saying Huda needs to be more open so she can actually talk to people, right? My thing is that whilst you may feel that way, my thing is, while she's been moving mad, no one's told her that she's moving mad. And it's like, you guys wanted her off and you wanted to kick her off because you felt like she was moving mad in the villa. And then when you have the opportunity to do that, you don't do it. You know? But hey, what can I say? What can I say?
Jeremiah broke her heart is absolutely insane. We are on episode 13 or 14. This is like week 2. That's crazy. And he had to have told her something Like, no matter what we believe, they were talking to each other and saying things we did not see. Because for your heart to be broken is very insane. Also, we need to stop focusing so much on Huda and Jeremiah, because clearly we're missing things that's happening between Olandria and Taylor. That photo booth scene was so cute. They've clearly made so much progress that we have not seen, and I'm annoyed. I'm very annoyed. Get Huda and Jeremiah out the way so that I can see the rest of my couples. And y'all see, yeah, Olandria and Taylor. Because when Taylor brought Huda breakfast, she said, girl, what you doing? Give him a hug. Say thank you the right way. Exactly. Yeah. Like, Nick is so funny, bro. Talking about Huda put security alarms on the bed in case you moved. And what he said earlier was facts. Like, it's toxic, and I'm done. I'm done giving it energy. Whatever they do is whatever they do. I can't stress myself no more. Jeremiah just called Huda nonchalant. Does he know what that word means? Was he there yesterday? The only thing that's logical to me is that this is the edit. There's no way. It's like he'll say words, and then she'll spit out different words. He just said, I'm not trying to make me like you. And she took that one statement and dragged it to like, well, if you don't care if I like you, that is not what he said. And I get what you're saying. Like, you don't want him sleeping next to her, but it's been what, 2-3 days now. It's clear that he's going to do that. So if that is a deal breaker for you, break the deal. Like, what are we talking about here? You literally said it yourself. What you want him to do, he's not doing. So let's move on. And it really makes me wonder about her emotional maturity, because even when they're disagreeing, like, why are you all up in his face? Why are you clapping at him? Why are you throwing things and like getting up aggressively and running back? This is not a movie scene. Calm down, speak regularly, act normal. Like, I'm not saying she's not wrong to be hurt and emotional, but the way she's emotional just doesn't make sense. And I feel like the way everybody was up in arms about Amaya's reactions when she was emotional, we also have to clock Huda too. Like, I don't know, sister. That's not normal. That's not normal. From Jalen laughing right behind her as she's crashing out, to Taylor making his eyes go back and forth, to Nick messing with his eyebrows. Like, nobody is for real. This male cast is so hilarious. I love that for me. Shelly, sister, what do you love about Austin? Like, I want to wrap this up so badly. You're saying that you love that you initiated this date or this hangout, and this is exactly what you've been wanting from him. You are the reason y'all are doing this, sister. What is that man doing for you? What is he doing to make you like him this much? I'm so confused. I thought this was a little joke at first. You're taking it too far now. And while the girls are tiptoeing around Huda, you can even tell the way Sierra said, like, oh, I really think you need to stop calling him names. When they do try and ask her questions and figure out what's going on with her and understand her logic and potentially put her in her place, she doesn't allow them to. Olandria asked her, what is your non-negotiables? What went right? What went wrong? I don't want to talk about that right now. I don't even want to talk about that. Like, I'm just over it. Huh? It's like she's so far away from accountability. I don't really think the girls can do anything about it. Huda won.
No, when we say that men can't hold men accountable, because when men want to do whatever they want to do, we say men should hold men accountable. That's what we're talking about. When people want to do what they want to do, it's hard to hold people accountable. But the reality of the situation is, you still got, if it's not holding them accountable, you got to isolate them. And I think to myself, like, some people need to be isolated. I just think that Huda needs to be just pushed aside, like, hey, baby, if you don't, we can't roll with you, man, because you're causing a scene for the rest of the people on the island. Now, I want to play some clips of this, because I wanted to, someone sent me this night, and I was, because they sent a comment on my page, and I think this was really good, right? Hopefully you can hear this. If you can't, I have to up it. Oh, hold on. There we go. Listen to this.
Kiss Huda. She caught my attention day one. No, you told me you was interested in Huda. Why didn't you talk to Huda?
Because she's so closed off, there's no point.
Does anybody feel like Huda is approachable to have a conversation? And that's okay, though. Why is it being so soon? So that doesn't make people want to be like, pull you for a chat, because it's like, that doesn't make you approachable. You know what I mean? Like,
now, I already said this is really, I already said this is kind of weird. I already said this, right? That is very, very weird, that Ace's behavior. And I said this, that people don't realize how deeply manipulative it is, but it's really manipulative. If somebody doesn't want to give you access to them, and they tell you, I don't want to be open to you. That wasn't Jeremiah. Jeremiah didn't tell her not to talk to anybody. Jeremiah didn't say don't open anybody. Jeremiah didn't do anything. They both agreed that they're not going to do that to each other. Okay? Now, the way that Hood is crashing out you can tell it's not a Jeremiah thing. That's why I said it's very insidious that people are trying to get Huda to open up when Huda didn't want to open up. I think the fact that Ace went to Taylor and started talking about can we approach Huda? Well, Huda doesn't want to talk to you. Not in that way. Right? Not in that way. So if she doesn't want to talk to you in that particular way, you can't force that to be open. That's why I said it's kind of scary behavior that people are actually, the only reason why we're actually attacking them is because you wanted to open up. That's scary. That's scary. You wanted to open up so that you can talk to her. But if she was interested, she would have, like, do you know what I'm saying? I don't think we're really deep how scary that is. That kind of behavior. You know what I'm saying to you? That you go and then you go and you incite other people so that you can get her to open up. That's crazy. That's mad crazy. That is crazy. All because she didn't want to open up. All because she didn't want to open up to you. No, she didn't, and open up to Taylor. She didn't want y'all. She didn't want y'all. And that's okay. But now because you wanted her from day one, and Jeremiah got her without even trying. That's where your real beef is. Okay. I mean, listen, they may be trying to play slick, but the whole point is the show is slick. At the end of the day, the show is a slick show. And the reality of the situation is, in most seasons we've watched, even the UK one, people can pretend all they want, but when they don't like somebody, we know they don't like somebody. Right? That's the difference here. I can't tell right now that Jeremiah never liked Huda. Right? I can't tell that Jeremiah didn't like Huda. I can't tell. But there are other people that have been on previous seasons that they're not even there from the beginning. You can tell they don't like each other. You see what I'm saying to you? So, like, I can't really tell that right now. I can't tell that. Now, are they a toxic couple? Yeah. But I can't tell they don't like each other. This level of the level of crash out, the level of him chasing her, the way he's operating her, yeah, that ain't telling me that you can't fake that. You like her, bro. You know what I'm saying to you? You like her. You know? Did Jeremiah stop liking her? No, I think would he have held back a little bit? Yeah. I think he would have held back a little bit. I think he would have not gone as hard, maybe. Yeah, I understand that. I'm not gonna say that, he might not have been affected by the mom situation. Of course he would have. All right? Of course he would have. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah, of course. I can understand that. I mean, that young man trying to be a father before his time, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think I think that's the truth there. Let's see different thoughts. Ace is leading the campaign just for why I could never have worked with Huda because she's crazy, but she wasn't open to him. Yeah, that's the thing about Ace. Ace is like leading his campaign against why I would have never worked with Huda, but because she's crazy. But yeah, it's true. It's just that she wasn't open to him. He would be having a different song right now if she was open to him, but she wasn't. They wasn't open, and that's why I said it was scary behavior. Listen, absolutely. And not only did he try to break away from it, he tried to handle it. He tried to bring up solutions to their situation. So I have to be open to the fact that, listen, he may not have got it 100% right, but the reality of the situation is he did try to always bring a solution to their situation, and that can only. So let's Let me just bring this here. Let's bring this here. Let's bring this here. Taylor coming out and saying what he's saying. Let's bring this here. Okay. Because Taylor came out and said what he said. Let's see what he said.
But it's just like, if the physical attraction there, physical attraction there. If it's not there, it's not there. Like, I don't even know how to even get that physical attraction.
Just cooking for your dumb ass. Cooking. I ain't even got that.
Everyone keeps saying he meant physical connection. He ain't that stupid to say that, man. If it was a physical connection, he would have said that. You know what I mean? Like, if it was a physical connection, he would have said that. If it was a physical connection, he would have said that. He's not physically attracted to Olandria. Like I said, I've always said that. I said he's doing a great job acting. He's acting. Oh, sorry. You know, I just feel like they're acting. So, for me personally, yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm like, nah, I'll be real with you. Old boy's acting out, and then we're saying like it's a real situation. I'm like, no, the reason why he was a little bit jealous of Jalen's because he just didn't want what he had taken away from him. Someone said that Taylor sure figured out how to fake the physical chats. Absolutely. Absolutely. He knew how. Listen, one thing about people is while they're talking about other people, they're doing the exact same thing. That's what I said about Taylor doing the exact same thing that he accused that Ace and them are accusing Jeremiah of. He's doing the exact same thing. He's buying his time. Unfortunately, the girl that he actually wants, they ain't there. They ain't there. Hey guys, if you want to join the live, listen, I ain't had nobody join. We're half an hour in. This is a fans live, you know. This is not my live, people. It's a fans live. We want to hear your thoughts and opinions, guys. We want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Okay. Now, Ashley Larry, this DP is making me concerned. Are you a sensible person? Yeah, probably not. That's why you clicked off. I don't like that. Yes, because she's real. The only difference between them is height. Otherwise, they're both light skin, conventionally attractive. Taylor's trying to stay, but I'm not mad at it. That's how Love Island works. Absolutely. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. And Bella and him are two different people. Bella and that are two different people. Like, you know what I'm saying to you? Like, Bella and Olandria are two separate types of people. They're not even close. In fact, let me try and see if I can find you a clip. Because I'm intrigued.
Had 2 conversations before I left.
Let's have a look at this. It's a direct. Let's have a look at this. I'm gonna play a little clip. So we can clip by Bella where she talks about this. Because you know me, trying to find all these clips is just easy to go to TikTok. TikTok, we have all these. I'll just do it. Hold on. Why don't I need to tell her? Hold on now.
Conversations before I left, and one was with Nick, and the other one was with Taylor.
Oh, really? And
Yeah,
what did that
interesting.
conversation consist of?
It was just him telling me that he's really, really sad. Like, he didn't want me to go home. He would have loved to explore the start of what we had, but he was nervous that if he saved me, I would have just still been gunning for Nick.
Well, we all know you would have been gunning for Nick anyway. So, yeah. Okay, let me get my first person on. Hot Sauce. Hello.
Okay, how's it going?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm a big fan of your channel. I've been watching ever
Oh
since you
wow.
were covering Love Island's UK season like 7. So I just want to get your perspective about what do you think about her not telling? Two-part question. Number one, what do you think about her waiting for Jeremiah to like her before she dropped the mom bomb? And do you think that part of the crash out is because she thinks that, okay, well, my mom, it's going to be hard to find another guy? Do you think that's also part of the crash out?
Wow, good question. And I'd love to hear your perspective on this as well. But the first one, her obviously waiting, it's evident that she was afraid that, you know, that somebody would end up rejecting her if they found out the truth about her from early. Okay. And I understand, you know, that at that point in time with Huda, that she was probably trying to assess the lay of the land. I get that. But once you get someone to start feeling emotionally tied to you before you tell them information, like you're a mother, this then becomes a slightly manipulative tactic, because at that point the person also is emotionally invested, and it becomes very difficult for them to say no. So it's not a great tactic. It's manipulative. And then obviously in terms of her crashing out, do I think it's because she's a mother? I think she's a crash out artist before then. She's a crash out artist because she's afraid of being abandoned. So mother or no mother, she probably would have crashed out the exact same way. And it's because she likes fine boys. And it's because that fine boy that she likes is a representation of significance and importance. So if somebody's significant and important then rejects you, it actually further reinstates your very core wound that you have within yourself, which is I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy and I can't be seen. So if somebody important sees you, let's say like, you know, a President Obama, ex-president, comes up and sees you and it's like, I know you, hot sauce, I know you, right? You feel good about you. Because like, how can somebody of such prominence know about you? So it's like it puts a weight of validity on your life and your value of self. That's what she's done with Jeremiah. And so him not necessarily doing everything she wants the exact same way, and it's like an indictment on her value and her self-worth and self-esteem. So yeah, that's actually what I believe is happening with her. So she is going to crash out because actually it's less about Jeremiah and more about how she feels about herself in a sense. But I'd love to hear your perspective.
I think that's a great assessment. Because one thing I noticed is that she's very good at putting Jeremiah in very uncomfortable situations, and she's always positioning him in a place where, you know, the answer or the outcome always plays in her favor. For example, the whole like when she came back, he says, "Oh, the beach. You went to the beach. Oh, that's my dream date. All of a sudden, right? Like, how dare you go on a dream date that I've never told you about? I will crash out over it on you because you're guilty, right?" And she always kind of puts him in this guilty situation where, you know, he's constantly has to apologize for things he has no control over. He constantly has to, you know, kind of beg her back, even though she consistently disrespects him in the open. And I think Jeremiah has a very low self-esteem to the fact that why would you go back to that? Right? Because if you know, I'm a firm believer that a relationship can only work when there's respect. And the fact that you're going back to a person that openly, candidly, and have no reservation on disrespecting you in public, I mean, not only is that not going to work, what kind of self-value do you have for yourself? Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, good breakdown, man. I love that you brought the balance as well. Yeah, the reality of the situation is that with Huda's behavior is that she has to keep him in the wrong, because if she keeps him in the wrong, she keeps him in check. Like he will keep on chasing her. So for her, every time he's in the wrong, he has to chase her. He has to come after her. He has to prove his affection and his love for her. And that's where she's at that. And I always say this when I'm coaching clients, I tell them like, you've in your survival, you found a key to attain some of your needs. So for her, she found a key passively aggressively in a manipulative sense to find a key to get her sense of validation from and security. And the way she does that is by destabilizing the relationship and causing chaos. And because her understanding of love is that love must hurt, that if there's no chaos, then it's not really love. And that's something that's before Jeremiah. That's not Jeremiah, that's before Jeremiah. So every time there is any kind of safety and peace, she will have to disrupt it because it doesn't align with her understanding of what love is. It's not exciting, it's not vibrant, it's not fun. And so the chaos is a part of the idea of what love is for her. So whenever there's an issue, he has to be wrong, because actually the way that she views her personhood and her, so sometimes what happens with people is that there is my personhood, who I am, versus my behavior. And when you've been through trauma in your childhood, you put the two together. And so what ends up happening is, instead of actually being accountable for your behavior, you are saying, I can't be accountable because it means I have to be accountable for me. That means I'm wrong as a person. And so people, when they have that false ideology, struggle to be accountable, and they have to flip it onto somebody else so that it's like, no, I'm not wrong. It's you that's wrong. And it's you that's done this misdeed. So we see that with her a lot of times, so the behaviors that she does. But I with Jeremiah, what the part that I think people are falsely putting on Jeremiah, need to actually put correctly, is he's actually not as stable as he looks. When I say stable, what I mean by that is he's not as emotionally regulated as he looks like.
Right, I was going to ask you a question about that.
Go for it.
Well, because okay, so you explain the psychosis of Huda, but see, based on Jeremiah's actions, my assessment, and would you agree with this or not, is that somewhere in Jeremiah's childhood, he's always had to fight for love. And that's why the even though it's toxic, they fit, right? Because one puts him in a bad situation that, okay, you have to create, I can only feel love through chaos. And the other person is, well, if I'm never fighting and going through Herculean events to prove my love, then it's not love also. What is your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I like that assessment as well. So it's a sound assessment as well. Yeah, there's something definitely in Jeremiah's past that I see. I mean, the fact that, we saw how he dealt with, I think there was 2 incidents, right? The latest one where he didn't come check up on her, and then the one before that, and the one before that, which was, I think, the fireplace, where she came to talk to him and the boys had got inside of his head. And instead of communicating, he shut down and just shook her hand. So whenever you see someone shutting down, it's because they can't process the emotions in time or real time in that space. Now, that's not actually the problem. Shutting down is not a problem. The problem is that you can't communicate. That's the issue. Because if you tell me I can't process it right now, give me some time, let me process it, then that allows you to have the time to be able to process it. The person knows where they stand, you've communicated, and you're clear, distinct, and direct. What we see with Jeremiah, though, is that the shutdowns are an indication of a dismissiveness of your own emotional state and needs. So probably what you saw with what Jeremiah might have experienced is that his needs were never really met emotionally as a young individual. So he's learned how to suppress and repress his emotions. Now, the reason why Jeremiah and Huda are so toxic is because both of them trigger each other in positive and negative ways. For instance, the reason why Jeremiah likes Huda so much is because she's so on him so much.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Like, so because if you've been denied your needs since a child, what your understanding is that your needs are not important, and that therefore you're not important. And so when Huda is like the girl that you find physically attractive, and she's willing to be like, I'm cutting everybody else out, and you're singly the most important person. If you listen to what he said about Iris, he said the reason why he likes Iris because she's solely focused on him in that moment. Because what Jeremiah has not experienced in childhood is someone being solely focused on him and his needs. And so what he does is to get his needs met is to consistently meet your needs. But then we'll get frustrated because what he sees from Huda is she gets triggered because any any sign from Jeremiah where he's shutting down or he's not being as loving or he's not being as present, any sign that looks like he may abandon her is going to set her off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you? And so that forces this triggering to happen. And so, yes, with Jeremiah, I agree with you. So that's why I said, when I say he's not as stable, what I mean by that is that with this, people who are dismissive avoidance, they look stable. And that's why fearful avoidance, like I believe that Huda is, choose people like Jeremiah because he seems very stable. And then they find out that as he may be stable, the stability actually isn't stability. It's him being devoid of the ability to have capacity to contain what you want. And so for Huda, final point on this is that for Huda, a major thing will be she wants to be accepted for her craziness. Now, part of that is okay. When I mean accepted, what I mean by that is there should be room and space for me to be able to go, that is you. You're going to have an emotional moment, and I'm not trying to cancel you because you're an emotional moment. The problem with Huda is that she's been enabled. It's very different from being accepted, right? I can accept that you might have moments, but I also let you know that whilst I accept you have moments, there are boundaries.
Yeah.
When you enable someone, it's to say, we accept you and there's no boundaries. Do whatever you want. And that's completely different. And so with Jeremiah and Huda, that is what's happening. There's this consistent triggering that's happening. You know, but he really does like her because she offers something that people are not offering to him, you know?
Well, yeah, because I never believe in like when Ace is talking about love bombing or when Nick is, you know, complaining. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's a game, right? And you have to position yourself for money or whatever. So, you know, even though they're toxic, it's a legitimate relationship, which no one else can say, right? No one else in the villa can say they have a legitimate. Even Ace and Shelly, I don't buy that's like legitimate. What do you think?
Yeah, I never bought Ace and Shelly, if I'm honest with you. I don't see it. I just don't think that Ace is willing to commit to Shelly the way she needs him to. You know, I see a cat and mouse game between the two of them. And so maybe they will in the next few weeks. We'll see it, right? Maybe Ace will buckle down finally. But Ace's body language always tells us that he's unwilling to commit. He never commits with his body language. And I think that is a big indication of him always trying to hold the power in the interaction between himself and someone else. And so in that space, I never saw Ace and Shelly as an actual couple.
Legit, yeah. All right, well, thank you. I'll let the next caller come up. Thank you, man. I enjoyed it.
Oh, you can stay on, bro. You can stay on.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I'll
no worries. I appreciate it. Yes, Winter. Hello, Winter. Oh, we can't hear you, Winter.
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. I was like, no, we can't hear you, Winter. What's going on? Is your mic connected? Make sure your mic is connected so you got the right mic on settings. Make sure you got the right settings on your mic. Sometimes you don't have the right mic connection.
Do you think like there was one part that really got me like kind of like what when Hannah was like, I like messy, and then she went to talk to Huda and say, oh, you're a star, all the enabling languages. Do you think Hannah is purposely triggering Huda as well? Well, let's forget about I think we talked enough about her. But what is your opinion on like how do you see like who do you think would be the winner this season? I know it's early, but who do you think would be the winner this season?
You asked a question that I have no answer to on this one. I have no clue. Honestly, it is up in the air. You know what I mean? But I don't. You know, I don't know. I just don't. I don't see any of them winning. That's the thing. It's just crazy. I don't see any of them winning. Do you know what I mean? But you know what? It could end up being someone like. It could end up being if Nick and Sierra can stay strong. It could end up being them. You know what I mean?
I think. Do you remember the UK season? With Sanam and
and the other dude what's his name? Asian dude, as I think. Well, he was like, I don't know.
I see Jeremiah. I think Jeremiah is going to win with somebody from like Casa
Hi,
Amor.
hello.
Hello.
Hello, Winter.
Oh wait, one moment, y'all. Now I can't hear nothing. So give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
We can hear you now. We can
Yeah,
hear you now. Mm-hmm.
I think Jeremiah, like, because Sanam and that guy won, right? That season.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Jeremiah in a Sanam situation.
Kai. It was Kai. His name is
Kai.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, guys.
Because remember, Kai was with Olivia, right? And Olivia was
Mhm.
just like Huda. She was like unhinged. Not as bad as Huda, but unhinged. Then he met Sanam and things just went a bit smoother. So I think that might happen here. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, listen, it could be. I mean, a lot of people are saying Olandria in the chat as well. I mean, listen, if it really depends. Like I said, we're gonna see. Like I said, it depends on what these couples do. You know what I mean? Like people are tipping Ace and Shelly to even win because of the fact they look good together. You know what I mean? But whether they're actual couple or not, we'll see. Look, things can happen. Of course, right now people are against Jeremiah. So it probably might not win for him. Huda they're against. So that's probably not going to be there. Like, maybe Austin might win. I don't know, but of course the Black folk are trying to vote for Austin. But maybe Austin, if he can find the right kind of partner, maybe. But it's up in the air, bro. It's up in the air. I can tell you that for sure.
Well, I mean, that's true because the culture is a little bit different. Because in U.S., right, everybody. I mean, I know Olandria and Shelly got the back of the sisterhood for sure. So it's kind of like whoever they date is kind of going to win. But I think that there might be a slight chance, especially if Jeremiah gets a Black girl that everybody likes, then I think he could win Casa more.
Yeah, I mean, listen, look, as someone saying it, we have to wait until Casa More to find out to see who could have win it, because obviously Casa More might bring some people that maybe fire, maybe good, maybe really interesting, as well for the some of these couples as well, for Shelly and Olandria. Maybe there'll be some fire people come through. So, it's still, because obviously Amber Gill won with, what's it, Greg, a couple of seasons back, and he came from Casa, or even late in Casa even. So it's possible. It's possible.
Amber from
well.
UK, right? Amber from UK. I thought who should have won? The basketball player and that girl. I forgot his name. He always like message.
Oh, Obi had been, but it's because he was a friend, didn't it? He never had anybody that he really fancied. That's a problem why he never won. But so it's interesting. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, on this season, because I really want to be able to see what's going to happen. Like I said, I think there's going to be some stuff in Casa that maybe throw the season in a different direction.
See, the problem I see with Casa is this. Nobody is really in a strong relationship to break them up. So even because Ace is going to leave Shelly for sure. Taylor, I think Bella's coming back. And I think Bella and Taylor might get together. Nick probably, I mean, Sierra doesn't even get airtime. You don't even see Sierra that much.
Sure.
Right? So Casa More, I mean, there's no real strong couples to break up. And Hannah, as soon as Casa More hit, she's gone.
Yeah, Hannah is definitely dangerous, boy. That girl's a runner.
Yeah,
she will run.
Hannah's about that life.
Yeah, Hannah's a runner, boy. She's a strict runner. Like, she's strictly disciplined runner. You know what I mean? Like, Hannah is a strict runner. Like, when she told the first day that to Charlie, like, yo, I'm a little bit toxic and I struggle with commitment. That girl was preparing him, letting him know that, listen, she's ready for a run. And I watched a bit of the interview Charlie had. He just literally released about 3 hours ago. And he was like, it hurt his heart to see Hannah move on to Pepe so quickly. I was like, bro, the way that they didn't vote for you is an indication. She told them, people, listen, send that boy packing. Pepe is the one.
Facts. Hannah told Amaya, yo, get him out of here. Amaya did Hannah's light work. She was like, look, I'm gonna be all sad and I'm gonna play this role, but When it's your turn, Amaya, get them out of here. Because they're homegirls, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if your homegirl really feeling you like that, what, like, you know, you're never gonna vote him off. I mean, Charlie couldn't read the room.
You into the lies. Hello, Winter.
Hello.
What's goody? What's goody?
Kind of wanted to ask like what you guys' thoughts were on the last episode regarding like the vote when it came to, was it Huda and Jalen, I believe, when they did the vote.
Yeah.
Part of me when I was watching it, I was kind of just confused on how everyone was, you know, avoiding Huda. They weren't talking to her. They were kind of being kind of high schooly in the way of just like talking about her. And then to go and vote for her as well, to me that was just so confusing because I thought they were gonna boot her out after that, especially how she was acting towards it, kind of draining everybody's energy. So I just kind of want to know what it was y'all's thoughts on that regarding the vote, and if it might have been like a production choice, because I know I've heard that the Casa episode might be coming up soon, so I'm not sure.
Well, sis, you better tell us. You better tell us your thoughts then about it.
I just personally, for me, when I saw it, I just couldn't conceptualize why they were all talking about how she was, you know, draining the energy of everybody else, and they feel uncomfortable when she's constantly talking about this, constantly calling him outside of his name, this, that, and the third. Yet they all wanted to back her and stand beside her, and I mean, even the people who were. I think it was Taylor who was the one that was kind of really being the most, I would say, the most rude towards her in regards of how she was reacting to them and stuff. So I don't know. I just feel like it was a little bit of a production choice or something influenced them to vote for her and not vote her out.
Hot sauce, what's your thoughts on that?
For me, I kind of agree. It's kind of production because Jalen was never going to be a threat to Taylor. I mean, Taylor don't even care about Lindsay like that. So the one thing I am a bit surprised is, well, two things I'm a bit surprised because I know they're 23 and stuff like that. I'm a bit older, but the one thing that you know, old school was like, you know, you make a decision as a couple. And one of the things I really didn't like is how everybody kind of split up. Like, you know, if like we're a couple, we're gonna make a decision together. So we're gonna go to Iris together, Jalen together, or we're gonna go to Huda together. And the Iris situation kind of threw me off because, like, one, you say your homeboy is Jalen, but then you're voting, you're gonna stand by Huda. I don't really understand that. And then number two, like how like Nick was done with Huda, right? And if Sierra and them are rocking hard, then why not go stand Jalen together? And that's another reason to show that all of the relationships are fake.
Yeah, I can definitely say
in my opinion, right? Because when you look at like if we look at UK, the girls and guys that were really in a relationship together and really cared about each other, they voted as a team.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It definitely just felt so off regarding just how everybody was talking about it. I mean, nobody at that point by episode 14, they were done. They were all drained. You could feel it through the screen that everybody was just done. They just couldn't take it anymore. And I just recently started watching. I had to binge the whole thing yesterday because I was seeing it on Twitter. I was seeing it on TikTok, and I was like, okay, at this point, everybody talking about it. I'm clearly something going on. So I tuned in, watched it myself, and I remember seeing a chat where someone was being like, at this point, it's not even one drama. It's like everybody is just so drained by what's going on with Jeremiah and Huda. And once I started watching, I was like, yeah, I'm a person that loves mess and drama. I'm a person that will watch reality TV. Like, okay, bring me the drama, I'll take it. But at that point, I was just like, oh my goodness, we're still here. Like, if we're going to keep the drama, at least let it be something new. I was tired of it at that point. And another thing I wanted to add as well, I think it was season 5, I believe, because I didn't watch the last season, but there was one season, I think the girl's name was Lindsay or Lexi. I wish I could remember her name. but she was on there and she ended up leaving kind of out of nowhere. It was like the next day she ended up leaving. And she had said in one of her responses in an Instagram comment that production, she had a crush on one of the girls because she was bisexual. But none of production was like kind of gearing her to talk to more of the men rather than like the guys. So I wouldn't be shocked if production was like, okay, we got a Casa episode coming up. Look at how everybody's responding to their relationship. I don't know if it is a production move, but I also agree as well. Like, as a couple, I would have expected everybody making these decisions together, and seeing that many people just split to the side, it just kind of felt like a performance rather than an actual vote.
Mm. 100. Go for us, Socia. You want to say something? Go for it, Socia. But no, yeah, no, I think it's like I said, it was interesting to see that vote as well. Of course, people who were hot on the tails of Huda and talking about how they wanted her off the last vote, you know, some of the people were changing their mind and struggling to stay on it. You know what I'm saying, Chu? So it was a tactical vote. It was an interesting one, nonetheless. But again, I think it's put a battery in her pack. It's it's put a battery in her back. Sorry. And so I'm thinking to myself, bruh, you know, I'm thinking to myself, to be honest, it's going to be a very interesting scenario because how much can they take? I know that it should have previewed this next episode and Sierra's like kind of breaking apart, but is it enough, you know, before you guys say enough is enough? That's the question, you know?
Yeah, because I was like, there's no way. Me personally, if I was on the island, I would have been like, I can't do it. I would have called her out ASAP. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, I think she got like one or two more recouplings before she's gonna go. She's gonna be gone. I think she's gonna be gone.
Mm-hmm.
So she got like one or two more, and then I think people say, okay, we're done. As long as Jeremiah continues to just be cool, I think, you know, Huda has two more, and then she's gone.
You ain't lying about that. Hey, Tamara, you right? Welcome to the conversation.
Hi, guys.
That's Gucci.
I agree with what Hasso said. I definitely think Huda has like 2 more episodes and then she's done, because everybody is tired of like the bees and the like the cuss words, the arguments. Like, everybody's tired of her little outbursts. And at this point, I feel like she's ruining their experience, because when they think back on this experience, they're going to have to think about that. I honestly feel like she ruined Jeremiah's experience too, because of how she has painted him out to be like the villain to everybody. And I think it's so crazy that there's really people online that like think her behavior is like okay, like they justify her actions and like villainize him when she literally takes his words and like paraphrases it. I noticed like she will I saw a post earlier on Instagram where they were saying like sometimes like when people hear, they were speaking about men, but I feel like this could apply to women too. Like when they hear certain words, it's like their brain shuts off. It's like she hears certain words and it just triggers an explosive response from her, and she just paraphrases the rest because she makes stuff up as she goes, and it's like she doesn't realize that she's lying. Like she's literally making it up. And when you change words around, that can really change a whole story. Like just changing what words you put before and after a keyword can change an entire story and change the perspective. So, but I hate that more people are not like, more of the girls aren't even like trying to figure out from Jeremiah like his side. It's kind of like they're so exhausted with it that they just like whatever. Like,
yeah, because Amaya was filed for calling him a piece of S. That was nasty work. That was nasty work. Where Amaya called him a piece. But I get it, because they're kindred spirits, right? Because Amaya crashed out on Ace. So I get it. I get it. That was nasty work.
Yeah,
I think Amaya is the only girl that like genuinely agrees with Huda and like doesn't see that she's wrong. I think the other girls know that she's wrong, but they're trying to like calm her down and like empower her. But like really them empowering her is just not holding her accountable and just telling her, oh, you deserve better. You're gonna find a man that loves you. That's a boy. Like it's their way of empowering her, but you're enabling her, and she continues to lack accountability. I knew a girl like Huda. Like I was like friends with a girl like Huda, and it's exhausting being friends with somebody like that who lacks accountability. Especially when they're dating somebody. Like, and I think females too, like, well, women, I think tend to like want to take their friend's side when they're like arguing with their boyfriend, but you need to be truthful. Like if your friend is wrong, regardless, you need to call that out, because the lack of accountability makes people turn into something like this, like Huda, and it's like scary.
But but the thing is, right, is like, because I think Huda is the Suge Knight of Love Island. Because when she went up to talk to Iris, the whole girl, all the girls went up there by the same. Like all the girls went up there fighting because Huda came up there. She was like, Iris, let me talk to you. And she was like, you two, bounce. And then she got up and bounce. She's like, y'all just bounce.
And the way she stomped off from the girls too, she's like, I'm talking to Iris right now. We were like, whoa, okay, hold on.
Yeah. She was like, you two bounce, Iris, come over here. And then they were like, should we leave? I don't know. And then all the girls were like, okay, let's go up there. She's Suge Knight.
Yeah. It's actually crazy. The episode that just aired too, like the girls when they were talking when she like wasn't in the room in the makeup room, and they said like they were like, I was genuinely scared when she went up there to Iris. Like she's got the crazy eyes, honestly.
Yes. And then one thing I do want to add too, is it Tamara or Tamara?
Tamara.
Tamara, I do agree with you when it comes to like, I get that they want to be that support group for her because they're all, they're in here together. They can't see what people are saying. So it's all speculation in their head. So they don't know. So you got to be together and have that group. But like you said, you had someone like Huda before who couldn't take that accountability. And it's up to those friends to let her know, like, yes, you have every valid right to feel this way, but how you are going about it is what is making you in the wrong. You are out here calling people, outside, you calling Jamira the B word, saying he's this, all this, that, and the third.
Right.
Whereas other people who were, I wouldn't say similarly in the same exact situation because nobody else was as locked in as they were. But still, when I would say when Charlie got that situation with Hannah, where she went to Pepe, he didn't do any like crash outs. He didn't go out and beyond calling her outside of the ring. We would all be like, whoa, that's crazy. So that's that sternness. I think she just needs that stern understanding that you cannot act this way. This is not acceptable, regardless of how you feel and if he's in the wrong or if he's not in the wrong. But how you present yourself and how you want to go about your feelings, there's a way to go about it until, you just got to take that accountability. It's at the end of the day.
That's so true. I think that people don't realize that sometimes even if your feelings are valid, the way you express those feelings can put you like in the wrong. In my experience, the friend that I had, I was the only friend that would hold her accountable, and the other friends like enabled her, and that really ultimately led to us not being friends anymore. It's because she just didn't want to hear what I wanted to say at a certain point, and I was just like, well, I guess we're just not going to be friends.
Exactly. Yeah, I've also I'm pretty young. I'm about the same ages as the Islanders. I'm the same age as Ace. I'm 22. So I've also had a group of friends who've been enabled all the time, who constantly, like, I would tell them, like, I agree how you feel and I'm going to hear how you feel. But the way you're acting, unfortunately, how you start treating people, and if it's negative, then at that point, girl, you became the villain. You just became the villain on how you're acting, regardless of how you feel. In Disney movies or any movie villain that we see, they have a valid reason for maybe why they want to do the thing that they want to do. It's about how they're going about it. That's wrong.
Right.
And that's the point. That is literally the point of it all. And I think with Huda, she, like you said, she switches words a lot. She said that he was using Iris as an scapegoat, but from my memory, all he said was just that she's not the usual type. He's not his usual type. And with obviously he's not going to be with Huda if she's calling him outside his name all the time.
No, you ain't telling lies. Joe, welcome, Joe. What's your thoughts?
Hello.
Hello, Joe. How you doing? You all right?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. We're just talking Love
Yes.
Island. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, first I want to address Ace. I think,
Oh,
in my
Ooh,
opinion,
okay.
I think he's jealous of Jeremiah.
Mm.
Let me explain. I just don't get why he's so obsessed with him being with Huda. I just don't get it. I think the fact that, in my opinion, I think he feels that Jeremiah is better looking than him and he's taller, light skinned than him. That's just my opinion. It seems so personal. I don't get it. Like, if that's the case, Taylor is doing the same thing. Taylor doesn't have any connection. He doesn't even find Olandria attractive. Yet Ace never called him out on that. Only Jeremiah, oh, he's fake. He's faking the relationship. He's doing that. Like, whoa, what? He only has smoke for Jeremiah. That's because he feel like he's just jealous. That's it. When it comes to Huda, Jesus Christ, I think if Huda was a man, I don't think it would last a day in that villa after the thing that she did. It's so unfair that she can do that and nothing happen. Like, she keep going. It's a bitch. It's a bitch. So why you keep wanting to be with the bitch? He's a bitch. Oh my God. He's such a bitch. Jesus Christ. It's just, oh my God. I don't know what happened. I know they are sex, so maybe they are connected. But bro, Jeremiah, in the beginning of the episode this time, I thought he was gonna pick her because he was trying to work thing out. I'm like, oh my God, again. And then after that, when you pick Aris, I'm like, okay, that's good. So let's hope that tomorrow he doesn't put Huda out to speak or anything. Let's just move on. I'm tired of that shit. Please. Enough is enough. And when it comes to Nick also is playing safe with Yara. Everybody is playing the game. I don't know why it's only Jeremiah that they want to call a scammer. Everybody wants to stay to the end. Everybody wants to win the game. I don't know why this is some type of, oh my God, he's doing that. Ace is doing the same thing with Shelly. They knew each other before all of this. So you see that's why I don't like Ace. Let's be honest. I just don't like how he moves. It pissed me off.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
No, I'm sorry. After you, I don't want to interrupt. I apologize. I don't want to interrupt.
No. Go ahead.
Like, I have two comments. Do you guys ever watch those movies where the person's sitting in the dark, silently waiting for you? It's a very famous movie back in the day. I think it's like Fatal Attraction or something like that, where like the woman was sitting in the dark and then he turned on the light and she just sitting there waiting for him in the dark. Do you guys ever see a movie like that?
Yeah, I think I've seen something like that before.
So when Huda hit him with the Fatal Attraction joint, because when the boat was coming, right, she sat there at the chair looking at the beach. Right? That was insane. And then my second point is that how in the world is Nick with a whole cold sore is still on the island? I would have voted him off just for safety reasons. Bro, y'all see his lip?
They said it was a bruise on his lip, like a I don't know.
Bro, whoever I'm with, game or no game, if you kiss Nick, we done. Right? Game or no, you kiss Nick, we are done. Look, man, how is he here with a whole cold sore?
To be honest, I think that whole idea of Love Island is like, I'm not gonna lie, that's a little nasty. Like to go on that show and swap spit with that many people, like I barely know you and your tongue is in my mouth. I couldn't do that. I just couldn't.
No. Usually people, they're like, I've seen some, like I said, I usually don't watch Love Island. That's not my cup of joe. But I remember the last season I watched, I don't remember them kissing this much. I don't remember everybody kissing each other this much. I remember maybe some cheek kisses, maybe like pecks, but I was like, oh Lord, like what are we doing? Oh goodness.
No, but it's nasty. Like kissing so many people, so random people you've never met. That is disgusting.
I'm sure they do like a whole panel testing and stuff like that, but it's just like it's just still disgusting. Like tongue in mouth, saliva. I'm like, no.
I do also, before I head out for the night as well, I wanted to mention something about Ace as well, because I know a lot of people were talking about how he's not genuine. And I definitely agree. I definitely think he's trying to stay towards the end. Because I don't know if y'all have seen it, but he was like blowing up on TikTok earlier this year. It was either earlier this year or late last year where he was like teaching, he would go on or TikTok live and he would teach people around the world. Typically, I think he used to teach like a lot of people from Pakistan to like do random dances. Like if you search up Ace in his TikToks, you will see a lot of them. And he was blowing up from it. And I remember I had followed him and I remember seeing his TikTok live saying that he was going away, but he didn't specify which, obviously. But he specified like, yeah, he's gone away. And next thing you know, I saw him on Love Island. And I wouldn't be shocked if that's exactly the reason why he's there. He's just trying to get his little bag because for all we know, he's probably going to get the traction from here, come back and he's going to go on live again and start reckoning money and funds from the TikTok lives. Because he was making a lot of money from those TikTok lives for sure. So definitely. And I think Joe mentioned it too, as well as like Shelly and Ace met before and they didn't stay together. From what I remember them saying was because they were long distance, like they were on opposite ends of the coast. So I don't know how they expect, like if they expect that to, I don't know, disseminate once they're done. But if it didn't work before the money and the fame, I don't see how it will work now if that was the reason why you guys separated.
I agree. And one thing I will say is from watching, first off, from watching these live, I love this channel. I watch the channel all the time. Don't miss the video. But from these lives, like when you brought my attention to Ace, like I started paying attention to him more and it clicked in my head. This was always a plan for him. It's like I definitely feel like he has watched the season before and he knows there's two types of winners. There's either it's the couple that's been together from day one, or it's like the couple where it's kind of like it was always her and he went and dated other people and then came back to this. And I feel like he orchestrated, he realized, okay, he cannot have the day one couple storyline because that's Jeremiah's. And he got split up from Shelly. So he went with the second one. But I feel like his jealousy from Jeremiah really stems from, I think at first it was the fact that he couldn't get to know Huda. But I also feel like it's because he realized that's his biggest competition when it comes to winning.
Yes.
And he planted that seed in everybody's head, like, oh, he's a scammer, to have everybody turn against him. It just so happened to work on his favor because Huda is crazy. I don't think he anticipated Huda being crazy, but he was been talking about them and been planting in everybody's head like this is not a couple to be trusted because he knows, he's aware like this is going to be on TV. He's painting the narrative and planting a seed in the audience's head to then see Jeremiah as a scammer. That's why there's so many people on here, like I'm seeing on the internet, that are not realizing, like, yes, I will say like Jeremiah is avoidant. He doesn't like stick up for himself enough. I also think he's like a people pleaser in a way. So he doesn't really know how to like establish healthy boundaries and maintain whatever boundaries he tries to establish. But I don't think that he is faking his feelings. I genuinely think that he does like her. Like he genuinely does like her. And this is just like, especially like in our generation, we see toxic couples all the time. Like it's probably normal for these people to like, in a way, be in these toxic connections. Like they don't really realize how like this being on TV is like alarming. So in Jeremiah's head, like he really does like her and he really doesn't see the issue with like, why y'all monitoring how I date, which is true. Like, why are you monitoring how I like somebody? He was not attracted to anybody else in there. He let Huda know that this is how I feel right now. But if someone comes in here and they pique my interest, like, of course, I'm open to talking with them. He never love bombed her or sold her a dream. It was her talking about, moving in and long distance and meeting my daughter. And all. She was the one that was selling these dreams. And every time he would talk her down and say, no, this is just right now. This is how I feel. He made that very clear right now. Every time that he emphasized that, she got upset that he didn't feed into her delusion of those long-term dreams. So I don't really understand where they're saying like he's a scammer. Like it's really just Ace spreading propaganda because he wants to get people against Jeremiah at some point to vote him out because he wants to make sure he wins. It's competitiveness, and that's actually really messed up when you think about that, because you can compete by just showing who you are, but to compete and then get into people's head and then really ruin someone's experience and possibly cut it short, that's actually like evil.
Yeah, that's
that's
why,
evil.
Yeah, that's why I pimped that since day 2 or 3. I'm like, bro, what? I don't like it. I don't like it.
I definitely agree that.
Hey, sorry guys, I have to run, but it was great talking to you all. Thank you so much for letting me up, but I got to get back to work. So, you guys take
Have
care.
a good work shift.
Yeah. Okay, you guys take. It's daytime for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you guys take care.
I hear that.
But yeah, I definitely think Ace.
Appreciate hot sauce.
Ace definitely. I do think he does like Shelly for sure. I've dealt with men like Ace before, so
I have to.
I do agree. Like I definitely think he likes her. I do. I just think that he might just. I think at the end of the day, in the back of his mind, he's always like, I'm on TV, so let me make the most of it. Let me try to do the best that I can with TV. And like my knowledge from when I was watching Ace, this was the beginning of the year, so everyone's wondering like, what's happening with TikTok? What's going on with that? Like we're like in America, we still don't even know what's going to happen with the app still. And on top of that, TikTok is not the best place when it comes to. I remember he was always getting banned all the time, or not banned, but his live was not banned, but his live was getting taken down all the time, like all the time. And so, from my knowledge, when your TikTok live gets taken down by TikTok, you don't get any of that profit anymore. They don't give it to you. So, unless people are like donating to you to your PayPal or Venmo. But that's why a lot of people will say if you guys are watching them or not. But typically on TikTok lives, they'll just say like cash at me on my Venmo, because if that live gets taken down, and it can get taken down for truly anything, you lose all of that profit from that specific live and you have to restart. So I wouldn't be shocked too as well, again, if he's trying to like build up a community of fans, distractions. So whatever he does after the fact, because we all know after Love Island, especially when it's popular, because last season blew up. When it's popular, people are going to follow you no matter what. They're always going to lead and follow you. And I think, what was it? I can't remember her name. It was Serena.
Mm-hmm.
Serena, yes.
Wasn't she, she was just recently at, I want to say, an award show, the
Grammys. Her and Janae went to the Grammys. Yeah,
they were just at the Grammys. So I truly do think that he came here probably thinking first about the clout that he could get. Does like Shelly, but still is like, I want to make sure I make it to the end and win, so I can get that money prize. And on top of the fact that like, there's a chance I could get somewhere out of this. I could be at the Grammys.
Right. I definitely feel like a lot of people watched last season and they realized the potential for it to like pivot to the career, because I haven't really seen any other Love Islanders from like previous USA seasons blow up the way the people from last season do. Like even the people that didn't win, like even like Kaylor, Liv, even like Rob, like there's still a lot of people that they got like a strong following and they're like influencers in a way now. So I definitely think that it's going to attract more inauthentic people to apply for the show.
Yeah, because same thing with Love Is Blind. I think kind of that hurt a little bit, where people are just like, "Oh, look at what happens on Love Is Blind. Let me get in there real quick." And we've seen the evidence.
I think Ace has like intimacy issues too. Like I think it makes him feel uncomfortable to like open up and be vulnerable. And something that he said in the recent episode was saying like he used to be all about girls right away, and then like something happened to him, I guess, when he got like his heart broke. So now he like has his guard up more and like takes his time before he like fully like opens up and gets like vulnerable with them. And I think that that's something like he's carrying, especially with Shelly, because I don't think they have like deep combos. It all seems surface level and just like flirtatious banter. So I feel like even if they win, like after the show, like they're not gonna last, because she's gonna realize that he is like too blocked or too like closed off for them to like pivot into anything real.
Yeah,
So,
I agree for sure.
yeah.
Which couple do you think is most likely to win, or which person you think is more likely to win? Have the higher chance of winning?
I don't think any of the couples have like an authentic connection currently. I feel like there's authentic people paired up with inauthentic people. Like for example, I think Sierra
Yes.
really wants love, but like Nick, he's gonna fold as soon as they get to Casa. Like he's definitely gonna get with a girl. He's gonna fold. Hannah, that hot
of course,
pocket is
yes.
hot. No shade to her, but she ready. She ready to get on to the next, get off at the next stop wherever. She's on to the next. So and Pepe is a player too. I saw there was a girl on TikTok saying like he was trying to fly her out like right before he left, and like he and she was saying like even some of the things he was saying to the girls he said to her. He's like he recycles lines. Like I already know what his play is, so I'm over him. Oh, I think Olandria is like genuine, but like I saw in like a previous, I think the last video on this channel, like she definitely has some sort of like fear of opening up to, and I feel like she's gonna stay with her safe option Taylor, but that's gonna make her actually miss out on like a potentially good connection because Taylor is not authentic, and I feel like she's gonna be so let down because I genuinely think that she will try to make the connection work outside of the show. She's gonna realize that Taylor just never was interested in her to begin with. And that's gonna lead to him getting exposed. Like I could already see, like at the reunion, she just exposed his ass. So
I think Taylor like non-black women, in my opinion. I just feel it.
He don't like black queens.
Yeah,
he like them a little pale.
Yes, I can see. I can see. I can see.
He likes racially ambiguous women. I feel like because a girl came forward, he was on some sort of like cowboy show or something like that before this show, and he dated some girl from that show, and then she realized, I guess after the show was done, that like he had a girlfriend the whole time and like he wasn't being authentic, and she kind of like you could tell she's black but she's light and she looks like mixed, and then the other girl that came forward and said that they were texting before the show kind of like looks the same. So really looking at all the women in the villa, none of them are his type currently, like none. That's why he seems so bored and out of it, because there's nothing there that's really like appealing to him. Like if something that comes in is appealing, I definitely think he will pursue that and choose that over Olandria. I do.
No, I think he spoke with Ciara too. I think, but Ciara wasn't feeling him like that. He spoke with Ciara, I think.
Right.
Taylor.
Yeah. Like if he does like black women, he likes the black women that don't like. You could tell they're black, but
they're mixed.
Like they're light skinned.
Yes.
Yeah, or they're mixed. Like that's the type of girls he likes. So I think Olandria would be really let down if she continues to stay with him. So I'm really hoping that somebody comes in and piques her interest. But I feel like she is so afraid to open up that she already has built, like she feels like a mental and emotional connection with Taylor to where she feels safe. She's not gonna want to really like genuinely explore with someone else in a way to where she opens up. Like they say, oh, explore, but y'all are not opening up to anybody. So what are you really exploring? You're just going over to somebody and having quick surface level conversations. That's not going to tell you anything. Like y'all are not doing anything. None of them, I feel like, have developed an emotional connection. So
yeah,
I don't see any couple that's really like strong enough to win. It just comes to like popularity at this point. Like who do we like the most is what it would have to be, unless they develop more. But yeah, I don't see that. The only couple that had like real emotions was Jeremiah and Huda. I mean, it was toxic, but there was real feelings there.
For sure. But thank you for letting me up and express my opinions. This is my first real Love Island discourse I've ever had before. It's kind of fun. I'm having a good time. So thank you so much. And you guys have a good rest of your day/night.
Oh, you too, Winter.
Thank you.
Well, listen, actually, time is up. I should have quit this a long time, about half an hour ago. But listen, it was such a great conversation. I was enjoying it. You know what I mean? So what we're gonna do? I have to come back next week, innit? We do it again next week, and because obviously on a Wednesday they don't do a show, right? So I guess next Wednesday we can go again, and do another live again around Love Island. So we'll be on around about 9:30. I'll be on time this time, guys. Yeah, 9:30 CST, and we'll be on and talking about Love Island for the rest of the week as well. So thank you again to Tamara and Joe. Yeah, next week we'll go again. All right.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Audience members, listen, it's been an amazing conversation. Thank you for those of you who jumped on the panel. It's always a pleasure when we have these conversations. This season's been crazy. Okay, but we can't wait for tomorrow's episode. Well, today's episode for me. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notifications of the uploads. We appreciate y'all. Stay locked and stay loaded. We'll see you again very, very soon. Much love. Ta-ra.